Did I strangle with my hands with a rope? Smother them?
Do you remember smothering any of them?
Not necessarily, no.
Okay.
The year was 1990 when Gary Randall Muehlberg started his killing spree in St. Louis, Missouri. Also known as the Package Killer, this innocent-looking 73-year-old is a monster accused of murdering and dismembering multiple victims over 30 years ago. As the police dug deeper for more information, many harrowing and bone-chilling details resurfaced.
Do you remember putting her in the trash can?
Hmm?
Do you remember putting her in the trash can?
Yeah.
Over the years, Gary strangled many of his victims to death and discarded their bodies in trash cans and plastic bags, all in the hopes of escaping justice. But what he confesses next will connect him to those exact crimes that he tried to hide all these years.
Were there more than one?
It does touch on recall a little bit.
The detectives were not prepared to discover the gruesome details that were about to unravel from the year 1990. Gary Randall was already serving a life sentence for murdering Kenneth Atchison on March 27, 1993. However, what brought Gary to the limelight again was the resurfacing of DNA evidence of his first 4 victims, who were murdered in 1990 in St. Louis, Missouri. These victims were 18-year-old Robin Meehan, 27-year-old Brenda Pruitt, 40-year-old Donna Reitmeyer, and 21-year-old Sandy Little. The cases of Gary's first 4 victims had gone cold for over 30 years. It was only thanks to the breakthrough in technology that made the investigators interrogate Gary yet again. But as the interrogation begins, the detectives are about to discover something so disturbing that it will haunt them for years.
We had no clue. We never even heard of it until the report came down from the DNA. And that's basically why we're trying to wrap these up. Okay? What's the worst thing that you think could happen to you if you talk to us about this? My worst case scenario, what would be the worst thing that could happen to you? You said death row.
Yeah.
Death penalty. If you're already doing life, I don't know anybody would really want to, what are they going to do, give you double or triple lives or whatever that is? That's not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not ever getting out of prison.
Right. Yeah. So we're just giving, we'd like to take the opportunity, again, with me working one of these cases, excuse me, we'd like to kind of wrap this all up. And for you too. I'm sure that, I don't know if you think about this I don't know if you think about it at all, if you think about these possible cases at all. But this is kind of like a, for your benefit to get it over with and ours, so we can get it over with.
I don't understand get over what. I mean, I'm in here for murdering a man.
Right. I read the entire report. I read the entire thing.
They say you're not a problem here. They said you've never been a problem here. You haven't had any write-ups since 2008. It sounds like you just...
And the write-ups I've had were like minor ones.
Stupid stuff, aren't they? Passing jelly beans or something crazy?
Huh?
Passing jelly beans?
Yeah.
You got written out for passing jelly beans.
Did they think they were pills, or what did they... I mean, I guess you just...
They got rules and regulations wherever you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in a confined environment like this, some are petty, some aren't, but you still got, like on the street, I don't know if you still got laws against jaywalking.
I don't know if anybody's ever got it.
Yeah.
I think I got a citation once for cutting my grass too early in the morning because it was a noise pollution. The neighbors complaining.
Mm-hmm.
You got minor,
Sure.
rules and laws. They got them in here.
Right.
Control environment.
Right. Yeah, so, I mean, if that's what you're worried about, I don't know that they're gonna, I don't know what they'll do, but I'm just saying I don't know that they'll take their time and go through all the jumping hoops and
Time
stuff.
and money is what
When
it
you're-
is.
Hmm?
It takes time and a lot of money to proceed with any of these
When you're
actions.
73 years old.
Yes, what you all are getting paid for, right? That's your job.
Right, right. And that's why we're here.
Yeah.
That's why we're here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you have kids. I mean, you have a daughter, right? I would like to give answers to this young lady's kids. You know, that they've gone 32 years not knowing.
You can tell her I'm not the one. I mean, so there's traces of DNA on her. I'm sure I'm not the only one she ever had with.
Well, it's
Or
just,
maybe she's the first time, I don't know.
I mean, like I said, it was the tape on her body. So I don't know that she would leave the tape on her body kind of thing. You know what I mean? Well, like I said, I know we're throwing a lot at you.
Yeah.
We are throwing a lot at you.
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, I feel like I'm being accused of a homicide. I mean, that's what the questions are.
Well, I mean,
You found a dead with traces of my DNA on something.
mhm.
Okay.
One of them, you might be able to explain away, maybe the wrapper, you know? This young lady happened to be between those two mattresses. She was inside those mattresses.
Those are two mattresses?
Yeah,
Yeah.
top and bottom.
Okay.
She was found in between those, and that's where the condom wrapper was that has your DNA on it. And do you have pictures of the tape?
Yeah.
This is actually,
Oh,
this is the tape, okay, that's on her.
okay.
And if you lift that tape up, there's DNA on
Okay.
the underside of that tape. So if she's even doing 15 guys a day, none of them would be on that tape underneath the underside of that tape.
Okay.
So technically, that's why we're here to see you. All right? Because again, maybe she had the condom wrapper, but she's naked. It's not like she had it in a pocket or anything like that. So she's got this condom wrapper in the mattress and has DNA, your DNA. And then also with the tape, that is very hard to explain how your DNA got on the underside of that tape on her. If in fact it wasn't you that was with her and she wound up in those mattresses.
The detectives begin the interrogation by bringing up the case of 18-year-old Robin Meehan. As per the forensic reports, Robin was choked to death and was found between two mattresses with her body tied. Despite finding Gary's DNA on the prophylactic wrapper, he has the guts to outright deny his role in her murder. The police also found a T-shirt with Gary's DNA on it wrapped around Robin's head. But Gary still remains indifferent to these pieces of evidence. In order to intensify the interrogation, the investigators are about to ask Gary about his next victim, Donna Reitmeyer.
And then we have a third one that actually wasn't as sophisticated as these two were. And she was found in a trash can, one of those plastic trash cans. So, and the girls are connected. They know each other, or knew each other back in the day. So everything that we're putting together and everything that we're doing, again, this wasn't as sophisticated as the other ones, but it's definitely, she was in there, and I think it was in the plastic in there, and quite some time because she had decomposed quite a bit. So what we're doing is I got DNA guys that are working actually on the way up that kept sending us messages and stuff. They're continuing to work on that, and not when, or not if, but when they get a DNA hit, then we're going to tie all three of them together. And we're here to give you an opportunity to talk to us about these and make it as easy on yourself as you can possibly make it. And let us know what you
You
think.
gonna charge me with, what, 3 homicides?
We don't know if we're going to charge anybody. We're up here to try to get the truth out of you and have you tell us what you know.
I don't know anything about those.
So, again, how do you explain your DNA being on
I
the
don't.
tape? On the tape.
I don't.
Now, you don't doubt that we have it, right? I mean,
What
you've
I'm
seen the
thinking
lab.
right now is kind of like private thoughts, but if you got it, you got it. I also know of how y'all build cases.
Well, I've been doing this almost 50 years, and I've never put anybody in prison that didn't deserve to be there. So I don't build a case.
You don't have to worry about putting me in prison and keeping me here.
You're already here.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
We're just looking for answers. I became interested in these cases about 14 years ago. I was fascinated with them. I like cold cases. I like working cold cases. I started looking into it and I couldn't believe that all these investigators couldn't solve these.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
You say these all happened when? Back in the,
1990,
around the 90s? Okay.
Yep. all in 1990. And all three girls knew each other. They all came from the same area.
And where would that be?
Cherokee Street down in St. Louis.
Okay.
Used to be called the old, I think they called,
Antique Row?
well, that, and they used to call it the stroll back in the day, I think.
I used to live down on California, off in Chippewa, Cherokee.
Right, and that's close to
Yeah.
where this is.
Yeah.
So you would be familiar with the area, correct?
Well, my in-laws lived down on Compton and Arsenal.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when Karen and I separated. She moved back with her family. Yeah.
So what years did you live down in the Compton area?
Oh,
Or California?
I can't remember the exact year I was married.
That was the old 3rd District back then, wasn't it? Down by the Anheuser-Busch? Or close to it?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, because the Anheuser-Busch was on 55 in Arsenal.
Yes,
Yeah,
I believe it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Real close to Solar.
yeah.
Well, this isn't too far from that, and you know the area.
Yeah, I mean, my aunt and uncle and grandparents lived down by Bevo Mill.
Sure.
In fact, I was born down on Gator,
I know where it's at.
Mm-hmm.
right behind, it used to be a grocery store. It came in a lot of different things. Christie Park,
Okay.
yeah.
Had you, any of the that you picked up, would you have picked them up off of Cherokee Street? You say you met a lot of them in the bar, but
I didn't read a lot of them.
or have you picked any up from around the Cherokee Street area?
Well, I don't remember. Probably.
Okay. All right. You see where we're trying to put, this whole thing is like a puzzle.
Yeah.
And I'm a very slow puzzle worker. So I have to ask a lot of these. A lot of them maybe sound stupid to you, but I gotta ask them because I don't know the answer to all these. What do you think about a guy writing a book about you? I mean, is that a good thing, a bad thing, or what do you think?
I never thought. I'm not thinking about it. I mean,
The way the detectives act all buddy-buddy with Gary is a tactic of breaking his defense. The forensic reports prove that Donna Reitmeyer's body was found in a trash can wrapped in a plastic bag. The forensic experts determined her cause of death to be strangulation. Being the disgraceful serial killer that Gary is, he remains quiet, sensing that the investigators might be riled up by his lack of answers. Gary decides to use his trump card, a request for a lawyer. Considering Gary's demand for a lawyer, the detectives stop this interrogation. But they're not done yet. These investigators are now going to drag Gary to another interrogation and confront him about the rest of the murders.
We don't know if there's more than 3. All we know is that there's, at least we got 3 of them connected through, all the lab work and everything we're doing. So, and this is one of them that's connected. So basically, we believe this is another one that you might have done.
Oh, she sure don't look familiar.
Now, this is, I don't know the date on this photograph or how early it is before she was taken. Do you recall?
Well, the date on here says 5/4 of 89. And she was 1990 is when she.
So that could be an old picture.
89?
Less than a year.
Less than a year.
What was this one, 89 too?
I don't know, I'd have to look at it.
This is the late. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it looks like an 89. So the box that Sandra was in is similar to a box the Doc was in.
Well, I sure don't remember making a box.
Did you have any old dressers sitting around that?
I mean, I had furniture.
Do you ever remember removing the bottoms of the drawers that she might have fit in, and then the box built around her?
Oh, I was thinking when you said a box, something that was put together from scratch. But furniture?
If this box may not have been built by you, it may have been a box that you, I don't know, you had from a work site or something like that you might have stored other things in. But she originally was put into a dresser, small dresser drawer.
I really don't look that familiar, but definitely the box, but I can't tell. I mean, maybe it'll come back to me in time.
Yeah, we're like he said, we're just trying to avoid.
Hmm?
We're just trying to avoid a bunch of people coming down here,
Yeah.
Getting you
So-
confused and everything.
Right. And obviously, when we leave here, the prosecutors are going to ask us.
Hmm?
I said, obviously, when we leave here, the prosecutors are going to ask us how it went. So,
Yeah. Hopefully they're satisfied with me confessing. But
Let me ask you this. And I think you're being honest with us. Let me ask you this, and I want you to really think about this. Were there more than one that you might have killed? Now think about it. Because I would know. As old as I am, I would remember if there was more than one.
yeah, I mean, from what you're telling me, it does touch on recall a little bit. Like I said, 30 some odd years ago.
I'm not really talking about details right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about the fact that was there more than one that you were involved in taking their life?
Taking their life?
I mean, this is kind of a important question for you.
Yeah.
That's why we got all 3 prosecutors wanting to do this all at once. Have you killed more than one?
These two, for sure. I mean, there's bits and pieces that I remember, but not all the details.
And I understand that. I understand that. But
Don't patronize me, okay?
I'm not patronizing you. How do you think I'm patronizing you?
I don't
I
know.
mean,
It's
explain,
just-
because I don't really understand what patronizing. Honestly, I don't. People say that, and I'm like, what have I said to patronize you?
This time, the detectives ask about 21-year-old Sandy Little, whose skeletal remains were discovered in a disposed wooden box on February 17, 1991. Following his usual pattern of killing, Gary strangled Sandy to death before disposing of her body. At this moment, Gary's body language proves that he can recall most of the details, yet he doesn't reveal the exact cause of her death. Rather than pushing for answers, the investigators will create a sense of familiarity by asking him about Kenneth Atchison, the victim for whom he is already serving the prison sentence.
I wish
Lose control?
I really do wish I knew what prompted me to do this, because it was a bunch of mixed emotions: embarrassment, ashamed of myself. What tripped the scale to cause this to happen?
Mm-hmm.
I myself may never know. You know, admitting something to other people is relatively easier than accepting the responsibility to oneself. I don't know if that makes sense, but I mean,
Absolutely, it does.
I've done things I'm damn proud of.
Oh, sure you have.
Just ain't one, none of them.
I know it's hard to do, but now's the time to get it out. I mean, like you said, you don't know how much time you have left. When the right thing to do is to get it all out, get it off your conscience, and knowing that you did what you could while you were on this earth. You know?
Right now, I feel like I've done a lot just talking to y'all, and I guess confessing to these. Maybe. Go
We
ahead.
just wanted a little bit more detail into what was going, what
I
happened.
can understand it. You all want as much detail to make sure you got the right guy.
No, we got all the evidence as you. And I showed you the lab reports when we were here before.
But you're saying some other name, Danny, somebody that.
That's just a name that had come up throughout the 30 years.
Okay.
We don't have his DNA. We have yours. So we thought maybe because some of the stuff, looked like it linked to Danny. So we thought maybe you were friends with him or knew him at some point.
Boy, that name.
But his DNA didn't come back to anything. And then it hit to you. And then every piece of evidence has come back with your
points to
DNA.
me,
Yeah. So we already know we're talking to the right person. We're just hoping we can get a little bit more detail as far as how it happened, why it happened.
Yeah, I wish you could get that information, because I would enjoy it
Yeah.
to know. Like I said, I come from good family, good people. I've always tried to do maybe not the right thing, but the proper thing. I just, because these dates are similar to each other within months of each other. A couple months here.
And then again, all these happened in 1990. So these booking photos were just the year
Wait a minute,
prior.
they happened in 1990. How come there's 89 dates on it?
Well, these are when they were arrested in,
Oh,
1989.
oh,
And
okay.
then the actual incident, the murders happened in 1990. So a year after these pictures.
Those are the
Yeah.
those are the mug shots.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that clarified that. What time of year did you find them?
She was March, and she went missing in fall of 1990, but she wasn't found until February 91. So that's why I asked you how long you might have kept kept her.
Yeah, she wouldn't have been at my house that long. Because I had custody of my kids on a couple of weekends a month.
Can you remember where you would have taken her?
Hmm?
Do you remember where you took her?
Did you own any property or garages or somebody else's house or
No, I didn't.
in the woods or?
No. I didn't own any property.
Because from the time she was taken until the time they found her was a pretty good amount of time. And
Sound like, what, 3 or 4 months? But
she was relatively, I mean, she was really decomposed when we found her.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just trying to figure out the location where she might have been. Because the first one you said you didn't sleep for maybe a day, if that much, or a couple of days. And this one here, and it was dropped off on the day it was found. It wasn't like somebody walking down the woods and find it. It was on a particular area where you could hardly not see it. And then somebody stopped and picked it up.
like they were intentionally left
Yes,
to be found.
yes.
According to the investigative evidence, Kenneth Atchison went to Gary's residence to purchase a car worth $6,000 in early 1993. But he never came home. Later, Kenneth's body was discovered in a coffin made of plywood sheets at Gary's basement. Kenneth was repeatedly tortured, stabbed, and shot while he was alive. However, to maintain his usual evil legacy, Gary took Kenneth's life by strangulation. Yet none of this cruelty is reflected in Gary's demeanor. The way he denies everything with a smirk shows the kind of heartless monster he is. Classic traits of a psychopath. And on top of that, Gary still doesn't reveal what he did to Sandy Little, even after seeing her autopsy photos from 1991. It is as if he is unfazed by the reality of his action in the least. But in the next footage, Gary will open up more and give some chilling revelations to how he discarded the bodies.
I'm thinking it was along the highway. Probably, 70.
Okay.
But I can't place how far O'Fallon was out of St. Louis. I know it was west of St. Louis. But
Do you remember what was around there?
I mean, like
Buildings,
restaurants,
Yeah.
shopping centers.
Sure.
I don't think it was isolated.
Do you remember which vehicle you used that time?
Probably the van. Because I don't think I had the pickup truck in early 90s. I think I got that. In like late 91, early 91. Might have been, I mean, I can't remember when I exactly got that.
Do you think it would have been at nighttime? Do you think it would have been at nighttime or daytime? Or?
No, nighttime, early morning, when there's not a lot of traffic out on the highway.
Mm-hmm.
But there's always traffic on the highway.
Do you remember getting that box out? I mean, you're a big guy, so I would imagine it wouldn't be too hard for you.
I'm thinking it might have been. It's not a box I made. It
Okay.
had to be existing something like a shipping crate, piece of furniture.
Would that have been something you might have had in your basement?
Yeah, it could have been.
Remember what might have been shipped in it? You say, because you had a lot of furniture.
No, just furniture in a house, like bedroom sets,
Oh, okay.
living room sets, kitchen sets, stuff like that. But I don't think it's something that was just laying around. If it had drawers, like a dresser.
Well, this box was actually a round. The dresser was inside the box.
Mm-hmm.
The dresser. Do you have a picture of the dresser, or possible?
And you have to realize that that dresser, she was in that dresser for a long period of time, so the dresser doesn't look probably exactly
Yeah,
like you were.
Yeah, it looks like dresser front of drawers or something.
Mm-hmm.
Or drawer fronts. And this whole thing was inside a box?
Was inside this.
Yeah, it looks like a dresser.
Anything come back to you looking at that?
It just looked like it was wrapped in some kind of paper or cloth or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you said you remember bits and pieces about her and about this incident?
I mean, that vaguely looks like a piece of furniture, but don't look like it's in real good shape.
Sure, like I said,
Yeah.
she was in there for a while, so it's not in really good shape.
She looked familiar, but yeah, I know it's not Pam. Had some facial features similar to hair and stuff. It, unfortunate and sad, it's just somebody that I picked up on the streets or in a restaurant or something down in South St. Louis.
Mm-hmm. Is this your dresser, or would you have gotten it from somewhere else?
Looks like something I had in the bedroom.
Was it part of a set? Like the...
Yeah. I bought a bedroom set when I was in undergrad school back in mid to late 70s up in Fayette, Missouri. It's hard to tell because there's not a lot of detail on it.
Sure.
Would that have been in the same bedroom as the mattresses would have been?
Yeah, because the house only had a one-bedroom house.
Oh.
It was a small house,
Okay.
like under 900 square feet.
Gary put Sandy's body inside a dresser and disposed of that box at a highway in O'Fallon, Missouri. It's really hard to believe that so much evil lies behind the eyes of this seemingly helpless old man. Now that Gary has begun confessing, the investigators will take advantage of this momentum by confronting him about his next victim, Brenda Pruitt.
Why do you keep coming and coming?
Well, we told you there's 3, so this is Brenda Pruitt. Same thing. What's the year that? 1994, 9, and 90.
Well, she looked like a rough one. Shouldn't say that. Looked like somebody who definitely would work the streets.
Mm-hmm.
This one looked like she had more class. I mean, she took care of herself.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, mugshots don't always do a person justice.
Sure. Yeah.
That's at the lowest point.
Mm-hmm.
Pruitt.
So
I knew a Pruitt, but he worked for the Shriners at Moolah Temple on the night crew. I don't think they were related.
do you remember what his first name was?
Hmm?
Do you remember what his first name was?
Boy, I sure don't.
Okay, so she was found in Maryland Heights.
That's,
I know.
we tried to turn it off. It'll go away. There you go.
What was it? A phone?
It's a phone. It's
Phone
a
over
phone.
there
We tried
in
to
the
turn it
corner.
off earlier. It didn't work.
Unplug it.
But they say if you unplug it, it sets off an alarm.
Gee, there for a second, I forgot where I was. Yeah, yeah, you're right. In Maryland Heights.
Yeah, so you said you worked at the Shriners. That's also in Maryland Heights, is that right?
Yeah, the new Moolah Temple moved from, what was that, Lindell?
Yeah.
Out to Parkway Junior High School. They bought it and remodeled it.
So you're kind of familiar with Maryland Heights then?
Yeah, Chuck, my old boss, the one that I got involved with Doc and all this, lived in Maryland Heights.
How long did you know Chuck?
See, I was still married. We just bought the home in Bell Ridge. And I met Chuck within months of moving into the house, looking for employment.
And where'd
He
you meet?
owned a construction company. We did a lot of remodeling of rent-a-center stores.
So how did you meet him?
I can't remember who introduced us or where I met him. I don't know if I answered an ad in the paper or went out and bid on a job. Or maybe, no, I don't really remember how or where or who introduced us. It was, the name of his company slips my mind right now.
So you bought the house in Bell Ridge.
Yeah.
What year was that?
Oh, late 80s,
Okay.
87, 88, 89, somewhere around there.
Okay. So shortly after you bought the house, you said you met
Met Chuck.
Chuck.
Yeah.
So Brenda, does she look familiar to you?
None of them that I couldn't pick out of a lineup. I mean,
Okay.
no.
So same kind of thing, alongside highway. In a container.
It's absolutely sickening to see the way Gary addresses Brenda as someone who would work the streets. This gives a chilling reminder that Gary only sees women as merely disposable objects. The forensic reports showed that Brenda was subjected to inhumane cruelty. Just like his previous victims, Brenda was discovered in a trash can, wrapped up in a plastic bag, and was tied with an electric cable. And as per her forensic reports, her cause of death was asphyxiation. In one of his confessions, Gary also talks about Chuck Nichols, one of his previous employers, whom he tried to falsely frame for murdering Kenneth Atchison. Now that all the known victims are out of the way, the detectives would shed light on Gary's fifth victim.
I put a couple questions in there.
Yeah, some of
Okay.
us, yeah.
A couple things come to mind or anything?
Not really. I mean, I don't remember. I know I didn't put anything in with any of the deceased. It might be it sat outside my house for a week or two in
Okay.
the winter time. So I don't know if that would account for a low odor or no odor or whatever.
Okay, so they sat outside your house?
One or two of them did, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And when we say one or two, are they the ones that we've already talked about? So we talked to one with the mattresses, and then we talked about the one.
No, the one that I wrote in the letter, the car wash.
Uh-huh.
She sat outside the house for a while.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit more about that? Do you remember where you first came in contact with her?
Probably down in South St. Louis somewhere.
Okay. All
I
right.
mean, some of the things are vague. I don't know if have a mental block on it, or I just don't remember, or
Sure.
you know,
What do you remember about that one?
not really that much except for a metal barrel. Kind of like, I don't know if it was an oil drum or it had a split rim on it to
Okay.
keep the lid on.
Do you remember where you got the oil drum
I sure
from?
don't.
Okay.
And we're talking about the one at the car wash, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So do you remember bringing her back to the house?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you remember anything after that?
Not really.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay. Do you remember what you did to her to be able to put her in that drum?
besides take her life,
Mm-hmm. Can you tell us about taking her life?
mm-hmm.
Can you tell us about taking her life?
just that for some odd reason, I took her life. And I've been racking my brain trying to think of what I call, whether it makes sense or not, a really dark part of my life.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've been racking my brain trying to figure out what would make me do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what snapped, what popped, what caused it, where the intent was.
You say taking her life. Do you remember how you did it?
I know there was one, maybe two, that was like with twine or a shoelace or some kind of apparatus.
And what did you do with that twine or shoelace?
Left it with him. I'm not real sure. It's like, I don't know what happened with their clothes or
Okay.
any of that. I mean, not to make feeble excuses, but 30 some odd years ago, I can't remember all the specific details.
Sure.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
the basic stuff is, I'm good I did it.
When you say twine or shoelaces, what was the cause of death would have been? I mean, what would you have done with the
Do what now?
what would you have done with the shoelaces or the twine that you're talking about?
Strangled him.
Okay. Do you remember doing that?
With one of them, I do believe, yeah. I'm not real positive which one.
Which one do you remember doing it to?
Hmm?
Which one do you remember doing it to?
I said, I don't.
You said one of them.
Yeah, I'm not sure in what order which was the first and which was the last. I'm thinking of one along the highway was probably the last one.
Which there was a few on the highway. Do you know which one specifically?
Okay, what was that, Highway 61 going up through Troy?
Uh-huh.
Okay, because at first I thought it was 64, but it's watching the news and weather, 61. And then one of them along Interstate 70. And those are the only two that I can recall where I left the remains on the highway or in close proximity. Because the one in Maryland Heights, that was on it wasn't a service road, but it wasn't on page, it wasn't on highway. It was off like an apartment complex.
It feels like a service road. That road does. I don't know if you remember back then how Page End right there. And then they had some pretty popular apartments there on the right.
Yeah, it ended right at Bennington?
Yes.
Okay.
Gary never disclosed his fifth victim's identity, but the police found out that he kept her remains in a cardboard box at first, after which he stored them in a steel barrel. Later, he discarded this barrel at a self-service car wash. All these murders promptly justify his name as the package killer. Considering Gary's significant lack of remorse and his vicious addiction to killing, it is difficult to imagine if there ever will be actual justice for the victims. In September 1995, Gary was sentenced to life in prison without parole for the homicide of Kenneth Atchison. After the discovery of the remaining victim's DNA in 2022, Gary faced further charges for the murder of 4 other women. Between 2022 and 2023, Gary pleaded guilty to 5 additional homicides, and as a result, he received multiple additional life sentences. However, the jury refrained from seeking the death penalty due to his deteriorating health condition.